I think we need to make sure that we don't forget the grassroots academies and elite, as they call it. I'm not convinced that elite's a word that we should be using in football. Kieran Tierney is a special talent and he's done extremely well, but I believe there's loads more of Kieran Tierneys out there, and it's encouraging to see right across the board from under 13s up to the 21s game for 11-a-side, and then the younger kids playing 7-a-side, 4-a-sides and 5-a-sides. It's very good. The academies certainly, in my opinion, give the kids a good education, but the grassroots coaches are doing just as good a job with a lot less money. It's very, very difficult for associations such as the SYFA to support. There could be upwards of 30 teams going to an away game, so it's very difficult to find that level of support, and I sympathise with grassroots clubs having to find that money. The government could help more. I understand there's lots of sports going on, so we can't forget the kids that are playing rugby and basketball and everything else. However, football's our national game.
Scottish women's football works very closely with the Scottish FA, who are obviously the national governing body, and a big part of their role is they have development officers dedicated to the women and girls game. So we work very closely with them, so they're out in all of the regions. There's coaching just for girls, and there's going to be a new exciting kind of strategy being rolled out in the run up to the Euros to attract more girls into the game. I think it's in a great place. I think for the first time ever, we're a much more professional setup. Things are really starting to pay off now, I would say, in terms of you look at the level that the kind of national age groups are playing on the girls and women's side. They're all excelling at what they're doing right now, not just the women's national team, but if you look at all the kind of other age groups, they're doing really, really well. So you can see that great coaching maybe 4 or 5 years ago and the kind of structures that are there are really, really paying off in the quality of the players that we're getting, whether it's Seattle Rain, Rachel Corsie, you've got Erin Cuthbert at Chelsea, you've got various players, Jane Ross at Man City, you've got obviously Kim Little, World Player of the Year, voted the BBC, back at Arsenal. You've got Lisa Evans at Bayern Munich. You've got a lot of players who are full-time players playing abroad. We would love that to be the case in Scotland. We would love these players who are still playing for clubs here, brilliant clubs like Glasgow City and Hibs, etc. A lot of these girls, have jobs as well. Joelle Murray winning the double for Hibs, she'd probably be back at work the following week. The fact that we are doing so well with some of our, kind of national team set up players who do have day jobs as well is phenomenal. I think that, Gemma Fay, the most capped Scotland player of all time, Julie Fleeting, the kind of top goal scorer of all time. I think as attitudes change and culture changes a bit in Scotland, it's not just people within sport and within football or women's football that will be appreciating that. I think a broader audience will start to understand that on, and it is different to men's football completely. So it is not men's football, it's women's football. From a personal perspective, I'd love to see the elite levels or the elite leagues in Scotland be kind of full-time professional. That's a big ask.
If you look at the grassroots clubs in this country, there's some massive teams out there, and they've been going for years and years. I think what's changed for me is the scouting system in terms of clubs investing money in scouts going out to grassroots keeps them in touch. In terms of the football side with academies, there's some clubs that are, happy for academies to come along and take their players, and quite often the deal could be, kids going in to train, gives them a look first at, can they get to that level. Do I think academies overlook them? I'm not sure. I think both have to work together. I think grassroots has a lot to play. I think, yes, it needs more support. the association do as much as they can to support all the volunteers and the kids playing. And I think if we continue to do that, we'll find more gems like Kieran Tierney.